Welcome. In front of me is an AMAZFIT Balance 2 XT, and today I'll be going over unboxing along with So let's pop it open right away. I do want to point out we have a nice little pull tab at the bottom, which, unlike anything that Samsung does with these kind of tabs, this holds in one piece and comes off without any kind of problem. Now inside here we get the box inside of a box. Okay. Opening it up, we have the actual watch itself, which is looking pretty nice. Now I think this is aluminum frame, but just kind of trying to guess at first glance. Anyway, and here we got some paperwork, and we got the charging puck, though there is no cable for it, but it's a Type-C, so you shouldn't have much of a problem of plugging it in, as literally every phone nowadays has Type-C plug. So okay, so you should have a cable like that already lying around. Now there is one more thing in here which I didn't grab. There we go, or maybe even two. Let's see, anything else? Nope, that's empty. So here we have our strap. Oh, holy crap, that's gonna be absolute nightmare to get it out of here. Oh, there we go. It's gonna be a little bit easier. Okay. Okay, there we go. This doesn't really want to come off that easily, but yeah, finally. So here's the watch. Let's boot it up, which I'm pretty sure is going to be the bottom button, but knowing my luck, it's most likely not. Oh, it is. Great. So, all the information that I'm going to be giving you is straight from the AMAZFIT website, listed by themselves, so it should be all correct. So let's start off with the display, which is actually pretty nice right here. Now that's an AMOLED display with a 1.5 inch size, and there we go, you can kind of see it. Have a scroll wheel for it as well. It's pretty responsive, as you can see, works really nicely. It's also a very big display, being 1.5 inches. And resolution wise, we're looking at 480 by 480 pixels. So display here is actually superb. Now moving on, build wise, it's a very thin watch, or maybe not very thin, probably maybe a little bit misinforming it, but based on the size, how wide it is, it's actually doesn't seem that thick, though it's still a pretty chunky watch now that I look at it from a side. And just to kind of take a look at my watch, which is a much smaller one, that's a 40mm Samsung Watch 7, I think. Literally the one before they made a squircle. So, in terms of thickness, I'm not sure, but I think mine might be actually thicker. Let's actually place it side by side. Oh, they're about the same thickness. Okay. So this is about the same thickness as my Galaxy Watch 40mm, and as you can see, in terms of size difference, we're looking at a pretty substantially bigger watch itself right here. The screen on this watch seems to be the size of my entire watch, so it is a pretty decent kind of real estate that you have right here to deal with. And with that real estate, you actually get some interesting features. So I should probably start off. This device price is just over $200. Not exactly sure how much. Let's quickly do a conversion of that. That is going to be $235 at a current exchange rate on the January 12th of 2026. So just a little bit over $200, which is a pretty decent price for a watch that offers a decent kind of experience, I would say. Build-wise, it's solid. Now, if we take a look at what we get obviously the typical workout modes that you'd expect from a watch that is primarily designed for fitness, right? But another thing that is very neat right here is the built-in maps that the watch itself has, and let's see if they are the same kind of thing as the active Max head. So I need to quickly go through, just kind of looking up for any info. AMAZFIT, where is it? Oh, for goodness sake. So we have a dual band GPS in here by the looks of it. So obviously because it's using GPS, you shouldn't need internet connection, as this will be going through GPS. Though I'm not really seeing anything. I'm literally reading this in Polish right now, so okay, I found it. So it does offer offline maps. So you don't need any kind of internet connection. You just need internet GPS connection, and you're good to go with your maps, which is a pretty nice thing, especially if you're like in the mountains where you might not have anywhere cell towers in the nature, but you will have a satellite connection to GPS, right? So you can still track every kind of workout and where you are with your watch without any kind of problem. Now, another cool thing here is that the device has built-in NFC, and you can use Zip Pay for paying. Though I have never used it, so I don't know how compatible this is, like if you can add any kind of cards and stuff like that, or whatnot. I'm primarily using Google Pay, but it looks like this only offers Zip Pay right here if you want to pay with the watch as a contactless payment. So that's something that we need to actually look a little bit more into to check out if it works just by adding a card and you're good to go, or maybe a little bit more extra steps. But it's being listed right here for me when I'm in Poland, so it would appear that I can use it. The reason I'm mentioning that is because there are, for instance, smart bands, like the Xiaomi ones, and those do have NFC, but you can't really use it for contactless payments because that requires you to use their Chinese equivalent of whatever Google Pay would be. They have a completely different app, and that's the only thing you can use for that payment, and you can't really use it outside of China. So cool, it has NFC, you just can't use it really for paying. So here it appears you can. Now let's scroll to, oh no, they don't have actual like spec sheet. Oh no, I'm kind of disappointed. So I'll need to check out the battery life from the literal like picture basis that they have, like, you know, written down as their product description. For some reason they decided not to give you, or give me or us, a compounded tech information, basically specification list. So it claims that the device itself has 658 milliamps of battery and will work up to 21 days with a normal usage, and up to 33 hours with a precision GPS without needing to charge it, 33 hours with tracking your routes, which I guess that would be the same thing as GPS, not sure why it's written again. And that's doesn't really mention anything else, which is a bit disappointing in terms of battery life, obviously. The reason I'm pointing that out is because for the Active Max, which I have right here, and just to kind of give you a side-by-side comparison, so this is Active Max, which is, I think it's a plastic build, though actually it could be aluminum here as well. Size-wise, the screen is the same. It has just a little bit of a kind of build quality, and I do want to compare these two because they are very close to each other, with the only difference is the Active Max is actually cheaper. And it seems like they offer about the same kind of experience, just build quality is different. And it has this neat design right here for the watch strap. So you can see it just kind of holds it in, and you can move it up and down. If you have small wrist, you will know why this is pretty nice. If you have chunky wrist, then you probably don't really give two craps about this. But for me, with these little sticks for hands, yeah, this is a pretty nice feature because the strap actually won't be protruding like to the side and then down. You can actually just angle it and get a nicer kind of fit around your or my tiny little wrist. So anyway, this one actually could be a better option if you're looking for a watch like this, as on paper they are about the exact same things. They have the same kind of screen resolutions and all that stuff. Both have NFC and payments. Both have GPS. And on top of that, I know for a fact that this one had more battery kind of information in terms of how long it lasts. So considering they're about the same in terms of the display and all that stuff, I presume battery life could possibly be very close. Let me quickly go back to make sure. Because this specifically said that the device will last 25 days in a typical usage. So there is a couple days difference. Now, with couple days difference, you can roughly apply it to this one in this case, as they are very close in terms of, as far as I can tell, what they offer in terms of features, about the same. Battery-wise, this one seems to have a tiny bit better battery life instead of 21, 25. So this will also trickle down to this watch having smaller battery life for other things, which would include things like intensive usage being only 13 days instead of 25 like this one has. Sorry, this one has 13 and 25 normal usage. So this, I would presume, gets you heavy usage of 12 days maybe, with always on display. Probably 9 days. I'm just basically subtracting like a day here. With constant GPS usage. Now this could vary between these two watches. This one supposedly has 64 hours of continuous GPS usage. Now, like I said, this one has a little bit of a better battery life, so this could be 60, maybe even 55, I don't know. So take that with a grain of salt, but it still should be plenty enough of battery life for intensive GPS tracking. Like, you don't really need to be tracked for 3 freaking days or track your routes for that long, I would presume. And lastly, in terms of battery life for this one, again, it offered GPS and music for 22 hours. Continuous GPS and music. So I presume this one will have something less, maybe 20, 19, maybe even less than that. But still, considering you would be using this device for literally like constant usage of listening to music and all that stuff and GPS, that's probably more than you would ever need. Now, one thing that I do want to point out, which I didn't really see listed in here, but I'm gonna do quick. Yep, it's not listed. So this watch, being more expensive, it doesn't have integrations with other applications, for instance, like Strava, Training Peaks, Komoot, and Relive, which this one does. This one is cheaper and has support for other third-party applications. Probably the one that I have used and know of is, for instance, Strava, which is pretty nice. Now, considering these devices are not Android Wear OS, you don't have access to Play Store. Therefore, it would obviously would need to come with the watch itself already baked into it, unless the actual thing has its own store. And let me quickly see. Okay, there is nothing about stores, so I presume, yep, that you cannot download additional applications if they are not like included. So if you want to have incorporated Strava support, then like I said, this one might be a bit better. For what it offers, it seems like this one is actually just a bit better while also being cheaper. But I don't know if I'm maybe missing something. I do want to just clarify this. The listing of like what this offers right here and going through their official website is not the best, considering they have this, you know, showy way of displaying all the features with a lot of pictures and fluff, with a lot of bullshit text, right? And they're lacking the crucial thing, which is, you know, spec information just listed neatly without bullshit, you know, sentences and useless fluff for them. Like, it has 480 by 480 pixel amazing retina display that will give you absolute clarity and stuff like that. I don't care. I can see it's AMOLED 480 by 480, right? So I don't need that additional amazing clarity and stuff like that, right? So unfortunately, we don't have much information listed like that. So I could be missing something. And to be fair, it's not my job to basically go through an entire booklet of information written in a fluffy way to figure out what the watch offers. It should be neatly presented just one by one with a spec info. So I could be missing something from this watch. But if I'm not, then this watch, I believe, will be better fit, as it's the same size, offers better battery life and more features in terms of incorporation to fitness applications. The only difference is this watch is a little bit bigger. So you can see in terms of thickness, it's just a bit thicker. And also, build quality wise, this seems to be primarily aluminum all throughout. So frame back right here with obviously the little glass where we have sensors. While this has aluminum frame by the looks of it, glass back, plastic back, and well, the glass right here for the sensors. But both of them charge with the same kind of charging puck. So anyway, that about sums it up.